tune in if you want to hear. So we have Chad, Josh, Dmitri, and Marcus every Friday.
It's the Square Round Table.
Tune in.
It's the Square Round Table podcast. Let's have a blast. I know at work you had a long day. Just relax and tune in.
So what's going on, my freaks and geeks? I want to say welcome to the Square Round Table podcast. I want to thank all of our viewers and listeners for joining us again tonight for another amazing episode, guys. And tonight is no different. Guys, tonight we want to welcome decorated United States Marine Corps Iraq War combat veteran, actor, director, successful online in-person acting coach, and a full-time single father to his daughter. He is best known for his role as Maxwell Washington on season 4 of Atlanta and as Cassius on The First Lady opposite Viola Davis. That's a lot, guys. That's a whole lot. But we are so honored to welcome Mr. Maurice P. Kerry. So thank you so much, sir, for coming out. We appreciate that.
Thank you.
I appreciate you having me. I really do. I really appreciate it.
Oh man, we are honored to have you. And it was the funny thing is, it was so bizarre how I knew of you already, but the way that we got you on the podcast was wild because me and Marcus had just dropped our episode. We did like a episode of kind of about the whole series of Atlanta, doing a whole series of you. And I think you commented on it and you were like, I was in that show. And from there, we talked and ironed stuff out. And like I said, and just researching you, you've been in a lot of my favorite shows. And we'll definitely talk about that as time goes on. But it was really cool. We were able to connect like that. So yeah, man, we are so happy to have you. But
I'm like, really happy to be here.
Hey, awesome. Like all of the other times with all of our other guests, we like to just make sure before we jump into everything to just ask you, how have you been doing, man? Just a little check on you. How's everything been going for you?
It's been going steady. It's been really busy. Just preparing for a new year, doing a lot of theater, a lot of interviews, speaking engagements as far as talking about acting and coaching, trying to bring in new actors and make sure that they're safe because there are a lot of scammers. And we talked about backstage, there's a lot of scammers out there and a lot of people out there taking advantage of people. And just with my nature, being a protective person, I take that type of stuff personally. So I've been working on that a lot just to help new, young, or even experienced actors or people that want to get into the business, just not fall into some of those traps that I actually fell into early in my career because I didn't have anybody to guide me. So it's like what Jay-Z said, I made all the mistakes so you don't have to.
Mm-hmm.
It's like that.
No, I definitely like that. And like I said beforehand, when we were talking before the podcast came on, I really appreciate that because a lot of, and me and Marcus and Demetrius and my brother Josh, we talk about it all the time that there is so many, even us having our podcast, when trying to put that out there, we've run into pitfalls and snake oil salesmen that wanted to, that promise you the stars and the moon and all that, and it don't deliver. We've been a part of that too, just to have somebody out there that's willing to say, hey, that ain't really the right way. Let me just try to show you from what I did, what you could do. So having that is heavy, man. That's a lot. That's really big.
Especially here in Atlanta, as Atlanta grows as a viable and respectable market for film, television, and theater, just entertainment. We've been killing the music game for years. I ain't even talking about
Yes,
Oh, forever.
yeah, ATA, shout out. But I'm from it. So my
Same.
So I can enunciate very well when I need to, when I'm on camera, but my Atlanta slip out every 5 seconds. So you be ready for it.
Yes,
So,
sir.
but as we grow as a viable market for entertainment, there are going to be more and more scammers. There are going to be more and more people taking advantage. And I can't. So one of the things that I hear a lot is people will go out here and get, there's actually one agency in particular, out, and I won't put their names out there. I don't know, I could get in trouble, but there's a agency out here that has people coming in hundreds, maybe like 1,000 a day, just coming in and saying, hey, we'll do this for you, we'll do that for you, we'll do just give us $500 here or $1,000 there or $100. And then, so I actually, when I got to Atlanta, because I didn't know anything about them, so I went in there, but by this point, I knew better when I went into their office, and I was like, y'all trying to charge me a monthly fee so you can get me background work? I had that sense of shock. What is you talking about? But in actuality, I had that reaction because years before, somebody got me. Monthly fee. Oh, I'm your agent. I'm gonna send you here to be on this show. Can you work on this show? Sure. I'm like, oh, I'm getting into the business. I was doing background. You know what I'm saying? But I was paying them a monthly fee, and that's something that you don't do. You don't need to pay nobody not for no background work. So.
No, that makes sense, and I've definitely heard about that too, as far as trying to get representation for somebody that's desperate. Like you said, somebody's really trying to get in there. That's the word. That desperation, they'll do anything.
Desperation will make you desperate. It'll make you do things that you don't even realize you're doing, but you think so. And I'm like, hey, if you're desperate, just come to me because I won't take advantage of that. I'll help you quail that and help you understand that you don't need to be desperate. You just need to be patient.
Yeah. No, we definitely appreciate that for sure, man. And with that being said, we just wanted to know a lot about not necessarily like the pitfalls, but just you coming up in just the beginning stages like of your career. Of course, like me, Marcus, and Josh, you were ATLian, so we already know how it go down in Atlanta. So for you, I just wanted to know, growing up in Atlanta, man, how did that shape your creativity and where the trajectory will go as far as your career?
Growing up in Atlanta, there was multiple ways that this could have gone for me. We have been the mecca of music and entertainment for many years. And one of the issues that I had growing up when I was a kid is I come from a long line, and this is not me boosting, this is just a situation. On my mother's side, I come from a long line of pimps, thieves, drug dealers, killers, hustlers, bootleggers, you know what I'm saying? I come from that. But the thing is I personally was not raised like that. And being in Atlanta, being a young black man of the 90s, I felt, let me ask you this. The terms of profanity on this platform. Like,
oh no, you're good. We're pretty chill.
You're good, man. You're good. Yeah.
So I strived so hard in my life to be a real nigga. I thought that was the coldest thing you could be. If you black, if you ain't no real nigga, then you ain't nobody. When you ain't part of the cool kids and the cool crowd. And one of the issues that I understood later on in life is that I didn't grow up with my dad. It was just my mom raised me. So I was always looking for that masculine male figure. What do black men do? Oh, this is what we do. I'm listening to the music. Oh, that's how we talk to the women. Oh, okay. That's how I'm gonna talk to them. Come here, bitch. You know. Oh, that didn't work. Okay, shit. All right. And growing up in Atlanta, it shaped me in a way because I knew I was different, and my mother knew, and the school systems, they all knew I was different. It was to a point where the teachers, some of the schools, my early years, they were like, "You need to get him out of here. He's not like them. He's better than this." When I was a little kid, and wanting to try to find myself and trying to create myself and trying to be myself, all became a battle until I was able to pull it all together and find that direction. Now, for me, I found that structure when I joined the military, and then in the military, that gave me that confidence a lot of the confidence that I have now, that I use now, is from that. Because one of the quotes that I have is, that I tell people all the time, is in Iraq, I was shot at and bombed, and my enemy couldn't kill me. So what the fuck do you think your opinion is going to do to a man like me?
I like that.
The level of confidence that comes with somebody trying to kill you and failing.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That just living your life and acting, things just don't scare you like they used to. And so that's when I started rapping. That's when I started looking into acting. That's when I started trying to just, like I said, find myself and create this person in life, and being married, divorced, and just different things. And over time, it just all boiled into that pot. It all kind of boiled into a pot, and it was like, I like me. I like this. I'm good. I can do this. Fearlessly is the key. Just do it. And so I give a lot of that too, just like I said, growing up in Atlanta, having that Southern respect and charm.
Yeah, it's something to it. Yeah.
Was where when I go to other, because I also live in Cali, and I love Cali, I love LA, but the area I was in, because I was in Camp Pendleton down in San Diego, a lot of the people down there are not kind people, and it was very disheartening. A lot of people around, I don't know about everybody, but the people that I was around in that time, they were not kind people, and so that actually gave me a leg up, especially when dating out there. Really gave me.
Oh yeah,
literally gave me a leg. Why you would? I'll be Charlie again. Hey, Charlie, come on. I like that. You know what I'm saying?
No, man. No, look, I can tell you straight up, everybody, especially if they're from somewhere else, like New York, Cali, everybody loves dude from Atlanta, man.
It's funny you said New York, because I talked to New York women in the past, or women from New York, Jersey, and they be like, "Man, I just love that country. I just love that country swag." I'm like, "What's up with New York dudes? Oh, they don't know how to act. They be all aggressive." And I had to, as I grew, I was like, "They be aggressive. They be real.
They do.
Hey,
They do.
For real.
Yeah.
Hey, and the way they be talking, they be, hey, yo, son, still, son. I'm like, what's going on? Calm down, bro. Just so it was, yeah.
And for all of our beautiful New York viewers and listeners, you know what I'm saying, right now, we love y'all being from Atlanta. We just used to it a little slow, a little
smooth. We
smooth.
We nice and smooth. Yeah.
It's so funny. People, because being from the South, other people be like from other places, hey, y'all talk slow. I'm like, slow? I'm like, what's the speed limit though? You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, we ain't in no rush to get nowhere, man.
What's the speed?
We just chilling, man.
All day. So yeah, but you know, they be making fun of us. We make fun of them. It's all love.
It's all love.
No, at the end of the day, it's definitely all love, man. But like you said, it's pretty cool for people that don't think you could do that, because you know you're an actor and all that stuff, and you can enunciate words and all that. So it's like when you can turn it on and off, that's the key right there.
Yeah, most definitely.
The British accents and the African accents, and they be like, "But ain't you from Atlanta?" I'm like, "Yeah, son, I'm from Atlanta, but I do some other stuff though." You know.
Yeah, man. So with that being said, because just reading up on you, like I said, you went through a lot of things. Like you were rapping. I know you were like singing at one point, like throughout school and all that. I gotta hear some of those stories, man. Like from growing up in school and writing raps and being in a singing group, or even going to, I think you tried to go to a record label, or did you get picked up by a record label or something? We gotta hear something from the music era.
Well, when I was 19, I thought I was gonna be the next Usher. I ain't gonna lie. I thought I was Usher. I was writing I still got my book upstairs, and you know, my lyrics and my rhymes, but I wasn't really rapping in. I was more singing. I actually started out rapping first, then I went to singing, stuck with singing for a while, and went back to rapping. But I was singing, and so I thought I was gonna be the next Usher, right? I'm like, I'm the next Usher, right? So then I ended up working. I was 19. I ended up working in Greenbrier Mall. I was working in Greenbrier Mall at a store called Bobby Allison Wireless. Before cell phones blew up, like before cell phones became a big thing, I was in there selling phones. And
I remember that store.
Yep. And right across, and I had no idea, literally right across from Bobby Allison Wireless, there was a fruit smoothie shop. I don't remember the name, but the woman who owned that shop was Raheem the Dream's mama. I had no idea. I was standing right there. I remember Raheem the Dream, right?
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Raheem the Dream. Yeah, Raheem the Dream's mom. And so before I even knew who she was, I kept buying smoothies from her. Used to make these really good smoothies. And then I saw it seemed out of place, but then I seen it was a poster of Raheem the Dream up on her wall. I'm like, oh, you like Raheem the Dream? It doesn't make sense. You're such a nice older woman. She goes, that's my son. I said, you're not telling me that I've been dealing with you. I've been buying these regular.
How long?
Look, I've been drinking these regular ass smoothies for how long? Just not telling me. No, they were great smoothies, I promise. But so she ended up setting up a meeting at Tight to Death, Tight for Life Records with me and Raheem. And so I get to the meeting. I think I rode the subway or the MARTA or something. And I get to the meeting, and it's outside in the parking lot. And it was him, and it was his in-house producer, Cooley C. Cooley C, y'all gotta Google that, man. Cooley C is an A-Town legendary, and he's gonna see this. And this dude, he literally is probably the reason why I'm here right now. But anyway, so I sing a few bars, woo 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 this shit. I guess that didn't move because he turns to Cooley. He goes, Cooley. He was like, oh, that's cool. He said, write that? I was like, yeah, I wrote that song and a couple other songs. And then he turns to Cooley C. He goes, Cooley, can you do something with him? And Cooley goes, yeah, I can work with him. So right then in that moment, I was like, oh, I'm gonna get signed.
Like it's about to happen.
I'm gonna be with Jerome in Fabo. Yeah, that's when I met Fabo. That's when I met Fabo before D4L, and I met Young Dro when he was with Tight to Death and all them. And I ended up actually, they wanted me for my writing skills. I ended up, so when Raheem blew up with Drama, back when and that's during that time is when I was with them.
Oh, okay.
When he blew up with Drama, he wanted to branch out into rock and roll and R&B, so he brought me in for the R&B. Well, he didn't tell me he wanted me writing for female R&B. So I have a book full of female songs upstairs that I wrote. You know what I'm saying? For the time. I still remember them too, and it's so weird because people are hearing, they'll be like, "You were 19, you wrote that like woman." You had some skills. I'm like, yeah, it was weird. I don't know how I knew all that. I only had home by that point. You know what I'm saying? So it was great, man. It was a good time. I learned a lot. I did. I learned a lot. I learned a lot about myself. Got in a lot of good bit of trouble being in the rap scene. What's going on, everybody? Being in the rap scene. And yeah, but I'm here now. I'm okay. I got out of jail. I joined the military, and boom, I'm here. That's how that happened.
No, it's just like your story was just really interesting to me because you got a lot of dips and dives, and I was like, wow. And even the amount of shows that you've been in and things that I've seen you in, it's just dang, this dude is everywhere, man. So which is a good thing. Like you said, everything is consistent right now. With that being said, when did it get to the point for you? I guess not necessarily the I made it sort of thing, but when you broke into acting on top of everything else, and started getting that consistent work. When was that point for you?
Right after Viola Davis, right after the First Lady. So it started to really hit after the First Lady and after I worked with Viola. Not necessarily because I worked with her. For me, confident-wise, it was because I worked with her and the scene went so well at the time, and there was just so many things that she gave me that she didn't realize she gave me. A level of confidence just working with her gave me. And then after that, I started saying more often and started saying, I'm gonna do this how I want to do this. And to be honest with you, that's probably one of the key things I would tell any artist, specifically actors, do it how you want to do it. Reason being is because if 1,000 actors send a casting director 1,000 self-tapes or do 1,000 auditions, 999 of them jokers are probably going to do it the exact same way. Maybe 990. There'll be about 10 people who will have the courage to say, man, fuck it, I'm going to go ahead and do what I do. And if you like it, you don't, you don't. Because what happens is that first 900 folks, they got bored. They didn't shoot. They got bored. All right, I saw that. Then you get that one person that be like, I didn't even see it like that. I like that. And then you had the gumption, the nerve, the intestinal fortitude to just try something different. We're going to keep an eye on you because you're courageous. Nobody likes a coward. Nobody roots for a coward.
No, I definitely like that. And like you said, because I experienced that a lot too. And it can get daunting sometimes because I know I just do a little voiceover on the side for just side hustle. You're going on auditions every day, every week. That's something that you do. So I know, man, it's got to get crazy. Especially, I was actually talking. I'm in a group with a bunch of other voice actors. We have a group chat. And one of my friends was saying, he was like, man, it hurts so bad when you've gone to a casting call and you're like on your third callback and it's down to you and 3 other dudes and then you don't get it. It's like, I know that's got to be rough, man.
It's probably more rough in the voiceover world. Reason being, because there's less to judge you by, or there's less to all they care about is, can you do the voice effectively? What is your rate? That's really, do you have the voice we need? Whereas visual, it's visual. Do you look like what we need? If we need a 1937 German Nazi, I'm not getting that role.
Probably not. No, probably not.
Not getting that one. But if it was voiceover, if I could do the voice, if I can do the German, you know,
you got it. You got it.
Yeah. So,
Nah, and it's just like I said, so that having that mental fortitude and like getting back in there even after hearing no after no, my hat goes off to you for that, man. It's a numbers game.
It's definitely a numbers game, because I've gotten hundreds of no's in comparison to my yeses. I probably have gotten 100 yeses over 2,000-3,000 no's.
Yeah, no, and that's just that's the name of the game, and I can attest to that. It is wild out here. If you look at my email right now, it's like a bajillion but maybe next times, you know what I'm saying? So it's a whole thing.
My guesses, like on my wall, I keep a wall of like t-shirts from yes, that's a yes, that's Atlanta. I did the Pink Fight. I have a movie coming out called Chasing the Rain. So those are some of my yeses up there on the wall.
Oh, that's what's up.
There you go.
Hey, that's how you got to. That's that motivation right there, though. That's it. So, with that being said, I wanted to know, because of course we got to talk about it. You were in two of my favorite series, Class of 09 and Atlanta. So I got to know how it was, man, being on those shows, like the environment and how it was working with the cast, all of that good stuff.
We'll start with Atlanta. Atlanta was really cool. And I literally mean, I don't mean it as a euphemism. I literally mean it was cool being on that set. It was very chill. And it wasn't high stress. And I keep want to say Brian Tyree, but Donald Glover. Donald Glover was cool. And he was so funny because he was walking out of the building. He was walking out of a building, and I was walking in. And he stops and goes, "Hey, you got to play as Maxwell, Maurice." And I was like, "Yeah, that's me, man." And he was like, "Oh, okay, I'm Donald Glover." And I was like, "Oh, nice to meet you." I was like, "Oh, nice to meet you." But in my head, I'm like, "Nigga, I know who you is." You Lando Calrissian, bro. I'm in the Bando Orlando. What is you talking about? But he was real cool, real humble. And even when we were doing our takes and we were doing the scene, it was so funny because as an actor, sometimes we thrive on feedback. Do they like it? So I'm saying, I'm doing my lines. And this is how at the end of the take, he goes, "Yeah, that's real cool. That's real cool. All right, let's try it this way." And I'm like, why is he talking to me like Billy D. Williams, bro? Why is he talking to me like that? Yeah, that's up. I was like, all right, man, all right. Turn up. But it was real cool, man. It was super cool. And I really do look forward to working with him, because the thing is, I have a lot of his music on my workout playlist. A lot of his music is on my workout playlist because it's just high energy. So it was really cool. And then to go from Atlanta, which that particular episode is the highest rated episode of the series, the entire series, which is cool. I got to mention in Rolling Stone magazine. I felt all good that day.
Yeah, man. Congrats. Congrats.
I'll give him my credits. And so then I go from that to go working on Class of 09 with his homie, Brian Tyree Henry.
Mm-hmm.
And it's so funny because Brian Tyree Henry, he ain't Paperboy. So
right.
I thought I was going to go work with Paperboy.
Exact opposite.
Brian Tyree is a thespian. That dude is an actor. He is an actor. He was when he spoke in his when he talked, he reminded me more of Fastos. His character Fastos seems more naturally him from Eternals.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
More of Fastos than Paperboy. You know what I'm saying? So when I saw that, I was like, "Oh, Paperboy is really an act." Fastos is more of his
more along the lines of his
personality. But he was funny. He was messing with me too, because so sometimes for whatever reason you need different angles when you're doing a shot, And so they get Brian's angles, close-ups, wides, They get all his angles. And there's another guy who has a few lines in the scene. They get his angles. So by this point, we've done it maybe 7 or 8 times, maybe 9. And then the camera comes around to me, and I say my line, I do my parts, and then we do another angle. And for whatever reason, and this happens, and it's so funny, you just forget the lines, right? So I'm sitting there. Brian is directly across from me, looking me dead in my eye, and I'm saying, Paperboy staring at me. And Brian's Paperboy staring at me. And, so, I'm like, it comes around, and I just freeze. And he goes, this is Brian. He goes, did you forget your line? I go, no, man, I got it. I said, no, man, I got it. He said, because, listen, it's okay. I know you think we're judging you. We are. We're judging you. It's okay. And I was like, damn it, Paperboy. I was like, Paperboy's an asshole. Asshole. It was cold, man. He also gave me some really great on-set advice to basically cherish the journey and where I was. Because the first thing I asked him, because he's an A-lister, and I tell everybody, I said, I don't even got to be an A-lister. I just want to be a strong B+. Give me a strong B+, I'm good. I'm good. But he's an A-lister, and I was like, man, how do I get to where you are? He said, how do I get to do what you do? And he said, you're doing it. You're already doing it. Just keep doing it. Just keep doing it. And so it was a cold thing meeting Brian Tyree and Lover.
Oh, that's cool, man. That's cool. That's and so literally, because that's my show, man. That's my show I watch with my mom. And by the time I need to be
Zazzy. I gotta be Zazzy Beats, man. I gotta be.
Oh no. Wait, so you know, oh yeah, because I guess she wasn't in that. So she wasn't on set when you was in
I was on set that day. I gotta be.
Oh man.
Yes. Ball. Yo. I remember when I first saw the very first episode and she came up on the screen, I was like, yo, who was that? I was like, yo, I wasn't talking to nobody. Yo, who? Where's she been? I hope she don't see this. I hope she do see this.
Nah, man. hey, she might. You never. We might just tag her. Maybe I don't know.
It's your chance, man. It's right here.
Somebody, if whoever see this and y'all know Zazzy, be like, Zazz, let me tell you what this fool said.
No, man, but no, we all everybody here is proud of you, man. You're definitely doing good stuff. Because, like I said, class of 09. That's my show, man. I watched that with my mom. We really dig it because we're into like sci-fi and all that kind of stuff. Mm-hmm. So we were just watching it, and by that time, I didn't know you were in it. I had just reached out to you. We had talked previously, and then I was watching. I saw you pop up. I was like, "Oh, yo, Maurice, okay, bro, okay."
I got my line. That's what it was.
Hey man, hey look.
Yes, we are.
Hey look, you did good, man. You killed it. So it's all good.
Yeah.
But yeah, man. Like the one thing that I like about that episode with on Atlanta is number one, the fact that they picked up on the fact that the Goofy movie is so prevalent to 90s kids, to Black 90s kids. It was like sick, man. And
yes, man.
And it was so cool. A lot of the stuff, of course, and the thing that I thought was funny is that it blew over everybody's head. Like a lot of people for a while thought that was real. Like they thought every part of that was real.
I had to Google. I had to Google myself. Like, am I?
You were like,
who is my father? But
no, like, who is Max Washington? Who is that?
Maxwell. It was so funny because when I'm sitting there watching it, I had to Google it myself because I'm sitting here. I'm like, this is just too. Ain't no way this is fake. I'm like, who was the CEO of Disney, the first Disney president? I'm looking it up, and for a long time, I'm reading the script. I'm like, yo, this is crazy because Brian McKnight is a real person. We were talking about, and he was in it. I was like, yo, this is crazy. And it's come to find out later, obviously it wasn't real. And people kept asking me, is it real? And so this is what I tell them, watch the episode and then you'll see. Watch the episode.
And so it's funny.
Go ahead.
No, I was just saying it's funny, Maurice, because I had to break it to Chad. He was like, I was like, bro, did you watch the episode? He's like, yeah, man. He was so into it, and I was like, dang, should I tell him? Should I tell him? And then I was like, yeah. So I had seen him in person, and he was talking about it again. I said, yeah, bro, that wasn't real, right? He said, get the fuck out of here, man. He said, nah. He said, it can't be. I said, bro. I said, that's just how good Donald is, bro. He had us all, guys.
That's a compliment. That is a compliment. It's a compliment to not only the actors, but also Donald. And it was I even had to compliment myself because I fooled you and I won this shit.
Exactly.
Real talk. And so when people were like, man, that was like, you were so convincing. I said, because I believed it. But that was just the genius of Donald Glover to be able to put that together in a way where the actors know they're acting and don't know they're acting at the same time. So that way the audience is so invested into that. They're like, they start Googling. I wonder how many times, not Maxwell, but the dad's name. I can't remember his first name, but the dad of that, how many times was he Googled around that time?
Oh, I'm sure a lot, because I know I did it for sure. So I mean,
President of Disney, how many times was that Googled?
But the funny thing was, I was looking at another interview, and they were talking to the actual guy that did create the Goofy movie. And he was saying that when the episode dropped, he kept getting texts and calls and all this. And he was like, what is this about? What is going on? No, this was me. I did this. Like, this is my movie. But
I want to meet him one day. I do.
No, you and me both. I definitely would love to actually sit down and have a chat with him. But he said that in turn, he was happy about how much love really was behind the project. And he had no idea that it really had a whole community of people that loved it and held on to it like that. Hey, he apparently created the blackest movie of all time, man. It is what it is.
What shocked me was when I was reading the script and the stuff that we were saying in there. My first thought was like, is Disney gonna let us get away with this?
I'm still wondering how y'all did it.
When I was on set with Donald, I was like, hey, yo, can I take some pictures or whatever together with you? He was like, nah, this episode is very secret and very just can't anything at all, nothing. And we were actually over at Atlanta Metropolitan College. That we filmed it in Atlanta Metro.
That's my alma mater. That's
okay.
That's where we at. I'm sitting on a little bench outside. We had to do a film. I went there when I was 19, by the way, too. I dropped out, but I went there when I was 19. And when they did all the listing on IMDb, they did all the listing of the show. They literally had every episode except for number 8, the goof who sat by the door. Like everything was listed. It was so secret. So I was like, it's got to be secret because we talking about Disney. Like we really talking about Disney. If Disney don't play that, they will come.
They will come for you.
Exactly. I'm finna come
I work for Disney.
Oh, what you say about me? You know what I'm saying?
No, man. The no, Mickey gonna show up with the mouse tool, ready to do some damage
on site. On site,
bro. He gonna Goofy in the whole squad, man. He gonna have the whole squad.
It's like a mouse tool on deck.
Yes, on site. But the cool thing about it though, like it's what were you about to say?
I said, with the big white glove.
He put on the glove to come up.
I don't know how you pull anything with that big old finger. I don't know what he gonna do on the trigger hand, but hey, you know.
Hey, he got that big cannon. That's what that cannon. Cannon fingers.
It's not a mouth control, it's a mouth bazooka, man.
Mouse bazooka. There you go, man. But the thing I thought was really cool about it though was like just a couple of the things, because like I said, everything for the most part didn't actually happen. But the culturally odd things or culturally relevant things was at the beginning of the episode where they talked about, I think his name was Art Babbitt, and how he described the character. That part is, I Googled it. That part is actually real. When he described him as a gangly, good-natured color boy and all that stuff, that's real. So I was shocked.
Some of the best stories and all of the best lies are lies that are sprinkled with truth. because it's believable. So Donald was smart enough to weave us a bunch of crap and interweave us the truth.
Yes.
So now, if you Google this part, oh, it's true. So now you're thinking, if you don't go any further, oh wow, no man, that's real. That happened. I look right here. Look
Exactly.
turn the page, Tina. Turn the page. No.
Exactly.
This is what you do. And so
Exactly.
those are the best. Like even in comedy, they will take a story, a real story, but then they'll blow it up. It's
Exactly.
yeah, he was genius.
Bernie Mac made a whole show out of a set he did as part of his
Yeah,
act,
exactly.
so.
Milk and cookies. So yeah.
Go do some push-ups. Stop crying out of God.
But we definitely want to take our hats off to you specifically for the performance you did, Maurice, because number one, like I've seen that movie a million bajillion times, but the acting that you did and the acting that the woman that played your mother and your brother did, for me, it really just brought home the fact that, oh, okay, you take all the Disney mess away with it. The movie is quite literally a single dad trying to find his way to his son. You know what I'm saying? And I thought that was so cool. And y'all really sold that. I was like, wow, I never really noticed that before. I'm paying attention to all the silliness and all that stuff, but yeah, because you're a kid.
Exactly.
Yeah, talk about a movie that make you cry when you're adult. When
man,
you're
look,
when you're an adult, man.
Man, I went back and watched it. I went back and watched it after that episode, and I was like, damn.
You watch it with different eyes. So
I was like, all he was trying to do was hang out with his son and just have some quality time, man. I was like, damn, Max.
Right?
Why I give the performance that because and it's the way that I create my characters is I find a way to personalize it. And I find a way to make it real. And I'm a very empathic. I'm very empathetic. You know, so I'm able to look at other people and find a connection in their humanity. Because I'm gonna be real with you. At our base programming, not anything that's taught to us, but at our base programming, we're all human beings. We all basically want the same thing. We want to eat, sleep, and procreate. At the base programming, before we get off, it's like the standard operating software. What is that? Isn't that what it's called with computers? The operating system.
Is it? Yeah.
The operating system, and then the world is when you start loading in those apps and all that other stuff. That's the world. Start doing that. At a base system, we're all basically the same. And so I'm able to connect to that just on a human level. And the way I did it with that was the fact that I didn't grow up with my dad. My dad didn't really come along until later in my life. And just the story of Goofy and Max and just wanting to spend time together and go on a trip. And then the dad because my part of the story was my dad left. Lost his mind and he was just gone. And there was a way that I was able to make that resonate within myself, which in turn resonated with the audience. So you got to be able to go deeper and figure out how is this real in real life. You could be a 18th century pirate in something. And it's okay. Was there ever a time in my life where I really wanted something and I was willing to take it from somebody? Why was that? Why did I want to do that? You start doing that type of work. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
No, definitely.
And I tell the guys that all the time, especially like when I write and do different characters and stuff. I'm like, man, you always gotta find some kind of experience you had in reality, a conversation with a person you might have had, or something from your childhood that you remember that nobody else experienced but you. And even like some characters, like you just said, you sprinkle a little bit of yourself in there to understand where that character, because it helps and it makes the transition a lot easier. So it's cool to hear that from an actor's point of view, because it's the same when you're writing for a character. So that's I always tell the guys that every time. So it's cool to hear that from your point of view.
Game of Thrones is a cultural phenomenon, and it ain't about the dragons.
Yeah.
It's about those human connections and how conniving and backstabbing and this that baby mama and this stunt double. And so humans are, because we're so complex, we're so simply complex and complexly simple that it makes we're just interesting to watch. Like when we say you watch a horror film or whatever, you be like, I would have just left. That becomes an interesting concept. What would it look like if somebody just left?
Exactly.
You roll
There you go.
to be over.
Right. No, I always say, and I tell the guys about it all the time, especially because it's October. I'm a horror fanatic. I don't know.
I was just watching it upstairs. Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's what's up. See, so I'm watching all the horror movies, and I always say, man, in them situations, like a Jason or a even especially a guy like Freddy Krueger, what you really gonna do? It's over with. I'm done.
That scared me. No, when I was growing up, because I remember when the first Nightmare on Elm Street came out and all that. Freddy was the only one that scared me. Jason didn't scare me. I bet you, Chad, understand why Freddy was the only one that scared me. You had to go to sleep eventually.
Yep.
Exactly.
Got
You got
That's
no
what I'm
choice.
saying.
That's
He
gonna
creepy
get
as
you.
hell. Exactly. That's the worst kind of fear ever.
Yeah, so it's like even like Jeepers Creepers, I found him to be creepy too, because even though if you lived out that season, I think it's 27 days, 27 years later, he's still coming back specifically for you. 27 years later, and you're gonna be too old to run, and he's going to.
Exactly.
Those are the ones that get me.
Exactly, and I'm just like that. When I heard about that 27 years thing, I'm like, I'm still gonna be alive. I needed to be like more of a 67 kind of year thing, to where if I avoided the first time, that's it. You know what I'm saying?
I'm good. I'm home stretch.
By the time I'm old, I'm like, you know what, Jeepers Creep, I'm ready to go. Come on.
I'm ready to go anyway.
I'm ready to go. Go get
You have to build one of those crazy contraptions where he had the little thing that's sitting there in the corner, like the old man with the
But
little,
it didn't work though.
You know what's crazy about the whole thing is I'm thinking, why you got him intact hanging on the wall? You better get your goddamn
Exactly.
Somewhere else.
And start throwing off bricks in the sea and stuff. Like, what is you doing?
Right? I'd have had him all different kind of places, taking travel across the world. Be like, okay, put his head here, put his body over here. You're gonna have to find a way to mold himself together.
I would keep his head nearby, because that way, then I would know if he was waking up. Because they say you can't kill him, but if he was waking up, I would know. I would know.
Exactly.
Right, cool.
Exactly.
Or a hand or something. If the hand started moving, all right, cool. He waking up. I need to be on my P's and Q's.
Exactly.
7 days.
But Freddy Krueger, there's no way. There's literally nothing you can do. Like there's
no.
You would have.
He's in your dream. Yeah.
Yeah, you would have to stay up. It's impossible.
You would die from that. So
exactly. So either way, you screwed.
You're done. And in actuality, dying from lack of sleep is probably worse than Freddy just yacht.
No, exactly. I'm like, give me the knives, the quick slash. And,
okay.
That's it. Yeah, that's it.
Your brain just melting because you can't sleep. You know?
No, exactly. But yeah, Maurice, like one of the things, and I thought it was pretty cool, man. Like immediately when we connected, you started talking about like milestone and like different characters you wanted to portray. So I definitely told the guys about Icon for sure.
Icon and Hard.
Go. That's the goal.
Yeah.
So check this out. So I would say, because I would love to connect with the guys on Milestone and have them campaign for me to play the first live action Milestone superhero on mainstream. And I say that because we're right now in an era of people who are comfortable. We're actually getting uncomfortable with derivatives and hand-me-downs. Let's just make the character black and give them that. Versus we literally have a catalog of black superhero characters right there. And you just want to keep making all. So now Batman's black.
Right, he's black, completely black. Yeah.
Wait, hold on. He's black, but he's got a whole mask on, so you can't even tell.
So you can't see his face. Yeah.
Man, I do understand that's Calvin Kent, Earth 2. I get it. He's the president, fine, whatever. Then you got Black Superman. But you could have saved yourself the trouble because we already got Icon.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah, put Icon on the screen.
Listen, I say it all the time.
You ain't sure about the budget, give it a lower budget, you know what I'm saying, or whatever, and we'll focus on So I had an idea in my head where we would do it. It would be almost a period. It would be an origin story, but it would be the way I saw it in my head. It wouldn't necessarily be about him using his powers. It would be about him growing up in a time of racism and having to being the baddest on the planet and not using his powers. And then there comes an adversary or something where he does have to really fight, but he protects the people that hate him because it's like, hey, listen, I'm not. I could have destroyed y'all a long time ago. Yeah, because his story was he crash landed during slavery.
And chose to be a slave. And he chose to be a slave. That's the craziest part.
So tell a little. That'd be an interesting story. What it was? Super strong, super fast, super smart alien crash landed during slavery and grew up during that time, and he ages slowly. So then he gets up to the 70s and the 80s. What would that be like? During the civil rights movement when they were beating the hell out of us.
And to add even more fire to the flame, he was a Republican.
Yeah.
So that's a whole other thing.
Yeah, exactly.
And so I had the thought of, I would like to play Icon, but honestly, I genuinely would love to play Hardware. Problem with that is the comparison. We know what the comparison would be.
Iron Man.
Yeah, easily.
Yep.
Iron. It would be Iron Man, or it would be John Henry Irons, which they fought in Worlds Collide. But and I wouldn't want to play John Henry. He's been done. He's been done before. Nobody's done Hardware. Nobody's done Icon. Nobody's even done Static Shock. I wouldn't want to do Static Shock. He's too young. Even though they did. But I would love to do Hardware just based on his story. But if I couldn't do Hardware, I would love to do Icon. You know.
Yeah. And it's funny that you brought that up because the guys know this. When I was in college at Georgia State, for my last semester, I took a TV analysis class, and for our final, we had to pitch a show, like a real pitch. Like we had to come up with who we wanted to play, who, the plot, what network we was trying to shoot for, was it streaming?
Were you in Clarkston? Did you go to the Clarkston campus?
I was when I was at Perimeter, and then when I got my associates, I transferred downtown to the main campus and got my bachelor's.
That's why. So I used to live in the park. There's an apartment complex called Beverly Crossing right down the street from.
I know exactly what you're
I
talking about.
used to live there, and I went to school right there at the college there. And then I went to the Clarkston campus and took the theater and.
Yep, because they had theater there. Yeah, I took acting 1 at Clarkston. So yeah.
So yeah, we took the same classes, same place.
Yeah.
Same place.
Yep. I had pitched. I asked my professor. I was like, "Hey, can we pitch like an animated series but live action?" He's, "I don't care what you do. It's just you can do whatever." So come to find out, me and the professor was like around the same age. So we grew up in there like on the same cartoons and stuff. So I was like, "Hey man, I'm gonna pitch a Static Shock show." He's, "Oh, that's great." He says, "I love Static Shock." So if you pitch that and knock it out the park, he said that's already, because he was gonna choose like the top 5 pitches in the class. So I came up with a story. It was live action, and what happened was I took the year that the Static Shock comics was created in '93, and I set it in the '90s. So Static was like in the '90s because the way I wanted to do it was, you show him in the '90s, and then like later on in another like season, he could be an older, more seasoned like vet. So I had Icon. I think Icon was like the mayor of Dakota. I think Hardware was like working at a company. I had Silas Stone, Victor Stone's dad. I had him in there. So like I was sprinkling all these characters.
I like that.
So
it did cross over.
Exactly. So I was I was really into it because I was like, man, I don't care if nobody ever sees this. I said, I'm doing this for me because I'm a fan. So when I turned it in, we came to class and it was like he had it on the board, like he wrote everybody's names from like the ones he liked, and I saw my name up there. And he talked to me after class. That's probably like the dopest shit I ever seen. He was a white dude too, so I was like, it was like a cool like '90s baby connection.
Right.
And then the dope part about it is when I graduated, one of my close buddies, he took that same class the next semester, and they did the same final. And he called me up. He said, "Hey, bro," he's like, "You did the Static Shock pitch, didn't you?" I was like, how you know, bro? He brought it up in class and he was telling us an example. He said, and I know you good enough to know that was you. I was like, dang, for real? So I felt good about that. So when you brought all that up, I was like, I gotta share that with Maurice because I sat down and came up with a whole idea. Because I was thinking the same like you, like, what's something superhero wise that nobody has done and they look over and they gloss over all the time. And that was it right there.
Like even in I think it was Young Justice or Justice League or whatever.
He was in it, yeah.
Yeah.
You would see basically Static Shock, and occasionally you would see Icon. You never saw Hardware. Hardware was too hard. Hardware, yeah, he went too hard. So I understand that, but I feel like instead of, like I said, instead of us race swapping and gender bending and all that stuff with these characters, how about we just tap into a whole new market? The Dakotaverse. The Dakotaverse is right.
Yep.
Hey, listen, Dakotaverse creators, if y'all, let's do it. Let's make.
Here. We got the idea. Maurice ready. We ready for y'all, man.
You know what I'm saying? Hey, Marcus, listen. I feel like you could be a character in like a scientist or something in the show. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, man.
Hey, that's how it works. That's how it works, though. I just don't know why they won't touch it.
I don't either.
It's part of the DC. It's loosely a part of the DC universe, so why not?
Exactly.
Maybe because it's easier to do the swaps than it is to actually take the time and make an actual story that people are actually going to go watch, by the way. With the race swap, you're guaranteed of people to come in there and watch it. You're guaranteed. That's easy money.
You get a morbid curiosity. Oh, let me go see what Black Superman looked like. Oh,
exactly.
Let me go see what Black Superman. Oh, okay. You got Black Superman. Yeah, the Dakotaverse, or you know what I was thinking about would be, I thought about the other day, I said, what if they remade Meteor Man?
Yo, me and Marcus talk about that all the time.
We talked about that. Because we talked about a Meteor Man and Blank Man like crossover.
Yes.
No!
Yes.
That
would be crazy. It would be crazy.
Oh my God, that needs to happen. Hey, that needs to happen.
Look, you talking to some guys. We were kids in the 90s, but we remember, man. Exactly. Yes, man. Yes.
Come on, man. Hey, shout
out to Damon Wayans. Yes.
Shout out to Damon Wayans.
Yes. The GOAT, man.
I'm gonna go watch that right now, bro.
See, look at it. Exactly.
But yeah, that's the thing. And in all seriousness, that was so ahead of its time. You know what I'm saying? Like Meteor Man and these characters, and even like Blank Man, and even though it was taken as a joke or whatever, but these are still representations of Black superheroes pre-Wesley Snipes. You know what I'm saying? So come on, like they got to get their props too. So I would just love to get a release, a comic book. Give me something.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah, I met a comic writer at the Black Film Festival. I met a comic writer, and it's so funny you said that because I'm like, I think I need to reach out to him and see how he feels about that. That would be dope.
That'd be dope.
Man meets Meteor Man is. You don't have to if you don't want to. I love it, man. Give me the belt. Yo.
And speaking of superheroes, man, like how was your time? Because you were in Endgame, correct?
So I just Endgame. It was so dope because that's still to this day that was the biggest set I had ever been on. That was the first time I saw the blue screen. It was like we were like basically like an airplane. It was like a huge dome, airplane hangar size. And it was like all blue. And I'm standing there with a bunch of Wakandans and warriors and the River Tribe and the Palace Guards. And it was so dope. And E-Bombay! And I had one line, E-Bombay! And that was it. The scene when they're coming out of the portal, when he said, your left. Yo, and that even right now I get chills because that was like a moment. When Cap was like his arm was broken, shield was ripped in half, and he was like, he didn't say it. Basically, he was saying was, I could do this all day, but we knew he couldn't. And then all you heard, on your left.
Bro.
And the way, when that damn portal opened up, the way the crowd erupted.
Yes,
Oh my
man.
God. Like, to this day,
Yes.
bro, I'm talking about, and you just saw everybody coming out. And then when Black Panther comes out, and he comes out and he says, E Bombay, I'm behind him going, E Bombay. Yo, and so man, it was just that was a moment. And that I don't know. That'll take another 20 years to recreate that moment.
Man.
And I think that was a bit of genius writing because I'm sure all of you guys were like, how is Cap going to pull this one off?
Man, I know I was.
Hey.
I'm like, he just cut through vibranium. He cut
right.
How it's Uru metal, so it's okay, cool, I understand. But so it's like, how is Cap? Cap is physically not strong enough to fight him.
Exactly.
So what is going to happen? And then you hear that on your left, and that call back to Captain America, the soldier.
Yep.
And then he comes flying through there, and it's like the whole crowd.
Exactly.
Oh man, I love that. I love that. I'm sorry. I know I went off on a tangent.
No.
You're good. You're good.
You gotta have that moment, man.
But it was really great. I didn't get to meet Chadwick. I was working with his stunt double the entire time, but it was great working on that set. They wouldn't allow pictures. I snuck one little picture of myself. Whatever, Disney. That was like 8 years ago. Whatever.
All right, don't say that too loud. Mickey be pulling up on folks. So
Mickey hits the gloves like this.
Right. He goes.
but no, man. I think, like I said, we don't mind at all that we're in the moment. Because my thing is like, me and the guys talk about all the time. It was almost unfair because the MCU will never be that again. You know what I mean?
No.
Like, everybody was on center stage right there. The whole past decade that we built up that universe, it was all laid out.
Right. And you're not wrong. Yeah, that took 10 years to get to that moment where the entire world was sitting there with bated breath after watching the bad guy finally in a film.
When?
I can assure you. Let me tell you, the first time I saw that when Infinity War came out, the end of Infinity War, after everybody got dusted, I wasn't ready to get up. I was like, okay.
What happened? Where? What's next?
It's like, that's it. Everybody going.
This ain't how this works. That's not how.
Like, bye.
Right. Roll credits. I was like, wait, what?
The movie just ended. It just ended.
Right, ended.
To make matters worse, Nick Fury got dusted in the end credits. So it was like, oh, so this is for real.
Yeah.
Right.
Like, no.
Yep.
What? And then so the whole world had to come together. It was like, look, I hate you. I don't like you. But listen, we can go in this movie. Captain need to get this figured out. This is not how this gonna go. Wolverine or somebody, but somebody need to come through.
Somebody need to come on, right? Because everybody was getting clapped. Spider-Man getting clapped.
Spider-Man, like, we just got him. What?
Getting clapped.
Everybody
got his dome ripped out. Come on
site,
right?
We lost Black Widow. Like, everybody was dropping like flies.
Mm-hmm.
And so it was crazy. And so that moment, that was the one little part of the movie that I had in Endgame was coming out of that. But I'm telling you, I came at that point. I got you. I'm coming, Cap. I'm coming. I'm myself. You rest my Captain America.
He was big stepping through the portal. I feel it.
Yo. I was ready to go, boy.
But as far as just on that same topic, because a lot of, I think the term I like to use for it is like Afrofuturism, seeing Black people, seeing African Americans in these spaces. And we've been talking about not just having palette swaps and all that, but having a Black character that was written that way, that was supposed to be that way. So with that being said, like, besides we talked about Milestone, but what kind of stuff would you like to see, like, on the big screen, like in the future, or even being, like, what other characters are you looking at?
Are you talking about like comics or
all of it, comics, sci-fi, any of those areas?
To be honest with you, I don't think there's a character I haven't seen yet. we've pretty much gotten. What happens is people have a short memory. A lot of those characters that we say we want this, is if you look back just a little bit, we had that.
Come on now.
Yeah.
Say that.
We
Yeah.
have
Man,
short memory.
you just said, boy, you just
Yeah,
said a
like
mouthful right there.
people, they love to forget that. You know when they say there's no. Oh my God! When they say things like the first black superhero, I'm like, oh, what you talking about? Meteor Man? Or you talking
Right.
about, how far back you talking about Blade? You talking about the MCU? It wasn't MCU. Blade made Marvel. Blade
Saved them.
saved the Marvel.
Wesley saved Marvel. Just let everybody know that.
But
Right, that's true.
it doesn't get the respect that it deserves. We've had black scientists, we've had the doctors, we've had superheroes, we've had all of these things. And so there's not really, if I had to say something, I haven't seen really time travel, like a Back to the Future, Black to the Future. I've never seen that.
Which would be interesting because I don't think none of us would want to time travel back to the 50s.
Actually, yes, what you thinking? That's a really good idea. That's a good idea. If we did a Back to the Future with black folks, we're like they might have went back a little too far.
Go a little too
Like,
far.
look, we'd be like, oh shit.
You know how we be, man, if it hadn't been me during that time,
Yeah, you go back and you be like, oh damn, I was wrong.
I was wrong. I was big wrong.
I juggle a lot of ideas in my head. I want a film. I don't know if it will be thriller, horror. I wouldn't even want a comedy. I would definitely want to play seriously, where somebody like us in the modern times got transported some kind of way, whatever, to 1805 or 1787 or something like that. You know what I'm saying? Where they were still rounding us up. And you get all your intelligence, all your smarts, and all of this. And almost in the vein of, and at the risk of sounding racist, in the vein of Planet of the Apes. And I say that because he's kept quiet, but he was like, they didn't expect much of him, but he kept quiet the whole time while he was captured. He wasn't like the rest of them. So I don't know. It could be an interesting premise.
No, and you know what? Now that we're talking about it, technically, and once again, Maurice, that's to your point that these, and this is something that me, Marcus, and Demetrius, and my brother preach all the time. Like, these areas are here. The representation is here. You just have to be open to look for it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
What we were just talking about. What are we talking about here? Black people doing time travel. What was the series Kindred? What was that?
Oh yeah,
a black woman went back in time.
Really? I didn't even know that.
It's on Hulu.
Yeah, I've seen it on Hulu. I just passed by it though, but I'm gonna pull it up now. So I didn't even know. Yeah, I have to check that out. There was something similar they did a few years back. It was a film called Antebellum.
With the nail on it.
Except for it wasn't time travel. It's just they recreated the scenery to look like it was. So that was actually an interesting premise. But yeah, no, a lot of the ideas and stuff is here. It's been done. It's just people have we don't do, in Western civilization, we don't do like history. We typically always look for the new. And it actually upsets me because I don't find it to be natural, because everything in nature, if you look at every tree, every plant, everything, it still grows, it still produces new fruit, new leaves, new cones. But at the base of it, there's always the same thing. Root. There's always the roots. What we like to do is we like to forget the roots is down there and just, this is new. We're gonna go with the new, but you just threw away the root of it.
There you go.
Yeah, that's where the life really comes from. I don't know. I hate that we throw things away. If it's old or traditional or whatever, we just throw it away.
Or if it doesn't hit the standard of what people expect it to be, or if it's not highbrow, like they're like, I don't like that. Like, it's not like the most Oscar-winning big Hollywood thing, then people don't overlook it, or they just forget about it.
But luckily, that's why we have the term cult classic.
There you go.
Because I like the film. It came out years ago. Clerks didn't do great in the theaters, but it became a cult classic. Equilibrium.
Yeah.
Yep.
concept. So I think Equilibrium came out right before The Matrix, or like right after The Matrix. But that whole gun kata thing, nobody's really done that again. And I was like, man, that is it. But it didn't do great, but it was a cult classic. People love that.
Yeah, and even back in the, like you were just talking about, if you talk to a person about and they want to say, oh, Black Panther, that's the first black superhero, but not really. When you go back further to Meteor Man, or then you go back even further to Dolomite and Shaft, and these were some of the first representations of black action heroes. And like you said, cult classics for a long time. And even now today, you got black people that don't even want to talk about Haitian films or look at it as something that was a negative. But even we had the pleasure of speaking to one of the first black guys to produce a full feature length horror film, Mr. William Crane, that made Blackula. So it's just like,
That's
yeah,
right.
so guys like that, you know what I'm saying? They deserve that respect.
Right.
But they don't get it. And like you said, to your point, it's unfortunate that we take the surface level and go forth with that, but we don't pay attention to the roots at all.
Exactly. Just like we were talking about Blade. The root of what the MCU is now is Blade.
Yeah.
But you can't whatever. Oh, it was whatever. It was cool for its time. It's also cool for this time too, because it obviously is because they're remaking it. So people be acting like,
oh yeah, people be acting crazy. That's just how it is. But the biggest thing, Maurice, is that's why we appreciate guys like you taking the time to have these conversations, because true enough, man, especially in the blurred community, when in our community, like black actors, black creatives, a lot of the times, like you were talking about with how to get in the door, like what we look at as valid, it sometimes can be like a echo chamber kind of thing where it's a bunch of negativity, a bunch of things that aren't true. I love the chance when we get to actually speak to somebody in that field and get your thought process about it and actually hear, some positivity for a change. It's like, dang, it'd be crazy out here, man.
Like that, we're not crazy out here.
Exactly.
People, for example, one of the things that came out recently was The Little Mermaid with Halle Bailey.
Yeah.
That was controversial, understandably, because for me, I'm like, okay, this story was like, I think it was like Scandinavian or something. It's like, y'all do realize Ariel had a black sister. If you saw Little Mermaid 2, one of her sisters was black.
Yep.
Why not? I don't know. It's just a crazy thought here. It
right?
could still be called. It actually could be called Little Mermaid instead of The Little Mermaid, just Little Mermaid.
Yep.
What did you tell whatever her sister's name was in that story?
Yeah.
Instead of changing the color of Ariel's skin, leave Ariel white. Give us what the little black girl back there doing? Come on, let me talk.
Right? You could have made such a great new great story based on characters we have never seen before and had this real big thing, but you wanted to do a paint by numbers race swap movie. I was like, I'm not gonna go see that. Like live actions in general with Disney, I'm already like this about. I'm like, I'm not going there, but
I haven't seen. I think the last one I saw was Aladdin. I haven't seen any of the rest of them. I didn't see Lion King, which I was told I was supposed to because I'm black, but I still have not seen it.
How did you feel about Will Smith playing Genie versus the original Robin Williams playing Genie? Like, how did you feel?
Robin cannot be replaced. He can't, but I do understand why they picked Will. Will does. Will does have a big personality like that.
He does.
He does.
Just Robin, he's an incredibly hard act to follow.
Yeah.
Incredibly hard. So Will had it rough in a sense where there was nothing he could do but be compared to Robin Williams. And that's not fair to Will. Will knew what he was taking on. And so he had to be ready for this. Yo, that's Robin Williams, man. What I'm gonna do?
Yeah.
My best. So speaking of Will, he's back there.
Hey.
I keep him back there for acting purposes. I tell people, when I'm acting, if I need to talk to an adult, I'll put my cutout behind my camera and I'll be looking at. I act with Will Smith all the time. It's weird.
Hey, who better to do it with, man?
I was just telling my daughter, I said, man, we need a Hancock too.
Man, come
Yeah.
on. Yes.
Part too.
And they keep it. Oh, what were you about to say?
We were talking about black superheroes.
Yep.
Hancock, dope.
It was dope.
Because I was drinking, bitch. Like, what? I laughed so hard. Call me asshole. One more time.
Exactly. And I'm just like, and they keep dangling I Am Legend 2 in front of our faces. I'm just like, man, either y'all gonna drop it or not. Like, when is that thing coming out?
It's supposed to be with him and Michael B. Jordan. So.
Yeah, supposedly.
Here's the thing. What else are you gonna do? That movie ended like perfectly. Like they tied it all up in a bow. We're good. We got the alternate ending. What are we doing?
Right.
What else can you tell? They cured the world. What are you talking about? Is this gonna be before, after things didn't work out? What is an I Am Legend 2 gonna be like?
I don't know.
We are legend. He is legend. Like
they are legend.
They are legend. Man on Earth. Now we got a squad. Yeah,
exactly.
I can't help but wonder what that story would be. Yeah, I would love to work on that. You know, but I do want to do a good solid zombie.
Yeah.
Oh, that would be good. No, that'll definitely be dope. I mean,
right now zombies need a break. We're probably, because Walking Dead, we're probably about to start leaning back on monsters like Dracula and Wolverine. I think those are about to come back around again. They had their time. They're about to come back around, or dragons or something.
yeah, the Dracula movie just came out starring the. You said what?
It was Renfield. Is that what you're talking about?
No, that too. But there was a film about. It was like Dracula or vampire, and it was starring the guy that played. What's that man's name? He was in Straight Outta Compton.
That's what he talked. Yeah, you talking about? I forget his name.
I forget his name.
Hawkins.
Yeah, he played Dr. Dre. Yeah, he played Dr. Dre in Straight Outta Compton, and he's in a Dracula movie right now. These things are coming around, and
is it that one where they're on the boat?
Yeah, the one where they're on the boat.
The Voyage of the Demeter. Yeah, I just saw it.
Yeah, that one. That looks cool.
Yep.
And that was really good. Yeah, that was actually good. Yeah, and I think those are about to come back around. Vampires.
No, they are vampires. And I just watched the movie, Maurice. If you haven't seen it yet, check it out, man. It's really good. I saw it last night. It's literally a new telling of Frankenstein. It's called The Angry Black Girl and Her Monster. Have you heard of that?
I saw that. Oh, I did see. I think it's on Amazon Prime. I think I did see it somewhere. I just did not click on it.
It's super good.
The other thing that I know we were talking about black characters. One of the things that I do want to play, another thing that I want to play, and that I have not seen yet, is I want to play a Sith Lord.
Let's do it.
A black. We haven't seen.
Let's do it.
Oh wait, no, we did Reva. That's right. She's not a Sith Lord.
She's an inquisitor. She's an inquisitor.
We don't count it. Yeah.
That's an inquisitor. That's an entirely separate thing.
I'm talking about on the level of Darth Maul. Like Maul level.
The Inquisitors are like below the Sith. I haven't seen one yet.
Give me a purple lightsaber and some dope. I want to play a Sith Lord.
No, that'll be dope. Aren't they trying to do something with Mace Windu or something right now? I think
they keep teasing it.
They keep teasing it.
Yeah,
they keep teasing it.
Because let me call somebody at Disney. Like, listen, y'all, quit playing.
I'm telling you.
Yeah, I'm out here killing it. Quit playing with me. Y'all come on and get me now when my price is low. Come on now. Come on.
I'm telling you. Look, put some respect on it.
Put some respect. All three.
I'm telling you. But yeah, Maurice, we wanted to know, man, number one, and we didn't tell you that when we started the podcast, but first and foremost, man, thank you for your service so much.
Yeah, man.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, man.
It's an honor and a pleasure to serve, man. It really was.
Oh yeah, 100%. We're behind you 100% on that, man. When all together, man, thank you so much for, like I said, spending some time with us and being able to chat with us for a little bit. We really do appreciate you coming out. It was just an amazing experience, man, getting a chance to talk to you. So just thank you for that as well.
Oh man, again,
man. Yeah, most definitely.
Thank you, Marcus. Thank you, Demetrius. Thank you, Chad. Mad scientist, tech wizard, Marlo Zoo. Is that how you say that?
Yeah, that's my Jedi name. That's my
Hey, while you playing, I just said I want to play a Sith Lord. So if that name pop out somewhere, you be like,
I got you. I got you, my dude. I got you.
But yeah, Maurice, like one of the last things, man, go ahead and let all of our viewers and listeners know, man, before we wrap everything up, where they can find you, all the awesome shows you got going on right now, man, and all that good stuff. So the floor is yours, man.
Cool. All right. Hey, first of all, it's such an honor and a pleasure to be on Roundtable Square with these great, wonderful gentlemen, man. And just, I love you guys' energy and just being eclectic, culturally eclectic, such as myself. But my name is Maurice P. Kerry, and you can find me on all social media as such. Maurice P. Kerry, that's MauricePKery. I am also an acting coach. So I help people take their acting to the next level, specifically with their self-tapes, and just help them get a little bit of confidence behind them, because that's a very important element when you're doing this work. So you can hit me in my DMs and we can set some up and I'll help you get there. Yeah, this was great. This was fun. We gotta do this again.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, no, man.
Always
we
welcome.
definitely
Always welcome.
Oh, yeah, you're always welcome anytime. So just hit me up. We good. We can do this.
It was fun.
No problem.
We didn't even get into Transformers and my
we didn't even get into all of it.
Oh,
Hey,
that's sick.
Okay.
Yeah, we were like 80s baby. So yeah. But yeah, thank you guys. I really, really appreciate it. Hey, dude, Chad,
Yes, sir.
you play the piano?
I don't play the piano. I play the
piano.
You said well,
You don't play the piano.
no, oh God. Everybody comment on the background. Everybody comment.
Like, also you got a grand piano partner? Damn, so you
No, man. I don't know nothing on no piano. No.
Yeah, as far as projects, we're still on the strike, and I can't.
Oh yeah.
I'm not really supposed to specifically talk about what I will tell everyone is, if you're interested in what I'm doing and what I have done, just to get a little bit of a background on me, you can just Google me, or you can hit me on my IMDb, and oh man, I remember him from this. Oh, that was. And like I said, I'm humble, I'm young, I'm fun. My DMs are open, man. If y'all want to holler, got questions, I'm here. We can talk about it.
There you go.
Hey, that's what I'm talking about. So for all of our viewers and listeners out there, man, no problem with all that information. We'll put it in the description below, like always. So just every week, fellas, guess what time it is?
Shameless promotional.
It's time for the shameless promotional, because we a bad mother. Shut your mouth.
Hey,
Okay.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Hey.
So yeah, guys, every week, man, our shameless promotional. And once again, we're at the Square Roundtable Podcast. You can catch us on our website. So that website is squareroundtablepod.fandomlim.com. And one more time, that is squareroundtablepod.fandomlim.com. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes.
It's more of a rectangle. I gotta bring it.
That's pretty much it right there. Square.
Round. Table.
But what you got for us, Dmitri?
You can catch us on Rap Nerd on Tuesdays and Thursdays. Also, you can catch us on YouTube. If you like the video, like it, comment, hit the notification bell on the right side of the video to get notified of this video and future videos. Leave us a comment about anything about this that we've talked in this lovely podcast. The roles that you've seen him in, and fan roles that you want to see him in the future. Any superhero ones that he didn't mention that you want to see him in, leave them down in the comment section down below. Hit us on our Instagram, Twitter, X.
It's X now, bro.
Facebook, it's X. And that pesky Facebook group.
They hate us, man.
Hey, man, it's all good. Well, we're gonna have to revamp. That's one thing I'm gonna work on. Like later, I'm gonna revamp that Facebook group, but we'll get to that. But yeah, man. So for all of our viewers and listeners out there, man, I would love everybody here to introduce themselves one more time before we head out. And as always, I'm your host, Chad Singleton.
I'm your host, Dmitri.
I'm Marcus. Hashtag yes.
Hashtag no.
My boy Josh. That's for you, baby.
I'm your guest, Maurice P. Kerry. I don't know if it was my turn. I took it anyway. It's cool. Whatever.
No, you were right on time. That's perfectly fine. That's it.
I did good.
You did good. And with that being said, y'all, this has been the Square Roundtable Podcast. Thank you for joining us tonight, guys, and we are out. Peace.
Peace.